I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 7 catches, 93 yards. They go play action here on first down. This is the tight end Fant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Derrick Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Jackson looking for Perriman there. He's got him. Now Jackson on first down. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Here are the starters defensively for the Chargers. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to look at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Ready? 18 later. Any weapons?
On 1st and 10, Bradshaw. He completes this into the hands of Miller. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. On 2nd down, Samuels. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Bradshaw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, Are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now Jackson. Got a man, Slayton. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Darius Slayton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Off play action. Bradshaw across the formation. He's got a man. That's Allen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talked often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Looking to throw on second down. Bradshaw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 26. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Samuels. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Off the play fake. Bradshaw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Jackson, those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man to the... He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Brashad Perriman with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
To throw on second down. Bradshaw got a man open. It's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Get it.
Throwing again. Bradshaw. It's caught. It's Miller. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
10-2 stop.
What we got? 44, Mike.
5.
On first down, Bradshaw. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Bradshaw, and he's got Miller. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. They go draw play. This is Samuels, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a third and that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Anthony Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also... The Charger drive about to get going. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room.
This is caught inside the 15. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A 2-yard touchdown grab. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Anthony Miller as they trot back out to go on offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
2nd and 1, staying on his feet. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter.
That's it, baby. We got work.
Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 49 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Olivier Vernon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism. Right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Bradshaw. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Harris now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything?
It got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for L.A. 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Jackson to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Catch made by Slayton. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Jackson will throw again. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Harris to return. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Bradshaw. This is the tight end Fant. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
The Charger drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. He's got a man. Complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 54 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Good running from Barkley there on 1st down as he'll get forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 22, Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Throwing after the interception, Bradshaw. He's got Allen. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, Harris. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Brashad Perriman. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Badgley, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Watch the twist. Watch the hit.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bradshaw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now Jackson. That is caught. It's Perriman. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Play action. Now Jackson. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Here's Samuels again, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. To throw on 3rd down, Bradshaw setting up the screen. This is Samuels, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. He completes this to Sutton. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
Go! 60 Pittsburgh.
Throwing on 1st down. Bradshaw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 24-yard line. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw. Bradshaw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. And this is caught. Well, they'll get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Gonzalez good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's caught at the 10. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our